Louisiana Congressman Charles Melancon is the communications co-chair for the Blue Dog Coalition. He joins us now. Congressman, you attended the meeting with President Obama last night. How did it go?
It was a very good meeting, very positive meeting. There were about 43 of the 49 Blue Dogs in attendance there. We discussed fiscal responsibility. We discussed a commission on to look at the spending of the government and the entitlement programs. We had discussions about immediate response to the economy and long-term plans and response to balancing the budget and bringing our fiscal house back in order.
Did you get the sense that most of the Blue Dogs will stay with President Obama, even if it's the final version is more tilted towards what the Senate did?
We haven't had a discussion. We were supposed to meet yesterday afternoon to discuss some of those things, but because of the schedule, we didn't do it. To tell you that there's a whip count in one way or another on the stimulus, we haven't gotten to that point, haven't had that discussion. Our discussions, and which started back over a week or so ago, when the stimulus package first came to the House of Representatives, was the Blue Dogs' concerns with the White House giving us a commitment, giving us some verbal, open commitments to helping us to put fiscal reform back into the Congress as it was back in the 90s, as we moved ourselves in the 90s towards a surplus in the federal government. And in 8 years, we've taken that surplus, this past administration, and from $5.5 trillion has moved it to over $10 trillion on budget, not inclusive of out-of-budget spending. So we, as the Blue Dogs, have been the only voice of fiscal responsibility in the Congress, either on the Democratic side or the Republican side, with some independent people that are in the chamber, but mostly as an organization and as a group. The President has embraced that, and we're talking about a fiscal summit, an economic summit, and we're talking about long-range planning and statutory pay-go and whatever it may take to get this country back on sound fiscal ground.
Congressman, update us on where things stand with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. One of your Blue Dog colleagues, Heath Schuler, had some very strong condemnation for her. Are things okay between the Blue Dog caucus and Pelosi? Is she going to give some of you leeway if for political reasons you feel like in your own district you just can't support this legislation?
Well, you know, I can't speak for every Blue Dog. And it's unfortunate. I understand there was more of a misunderstanding about what was said and what was interpreted to be said. But that being fact, our relationship with the leadership and Ms. Pelosi have been good. She has supported us on the pay-go issue. Our frustration is that the Congress itself has not followed pay-go. So while we're in the House abiding by pay-go rules and finding pay-fors and sending bills to the Senate then strips out the pay-fors and then says, here, send it back out to the public unpaid for and increase the debt. You know, I'm frustrated, as the rest of the Blue Dogs are, in that the Republicans are making fun, I guess, if you would, of the fact that we've got a surplus like the Democrats have brought it to them in less than a month, when in fact they're the people that are responsible for the debt that we're in. They have been responsible for the last 8 years. You can look at it, $5.5 trillion surplus back 8 years ago, $10 trillion deficit as I stand here in front of you today, and it's actually more than that when you go off budget. And so let's talk about fiscal responsibility, and let's get on with doing what's right by this country. I used to agree with the Republicans, at least I thought I did, because I thought they were the party of fiscal responsibility till after they've governed for 8 years and they've demonstrated they're not. The only people left in this Congress that are fiscally responsible, at least on the House side, are the Blue Dogs. We have found a president that reflects and believes in the same things we do, that is embracing and is working with us, committed last night to work with us to try and bring this country back on sound financial footing so that the future of this country is not in jeopardy. We need to get through this tough times right now, but we also need at the same time to start plotting strategy how to take care of those problems with entitlements and discretionary spending, the entire budget going into the future.
Louisiana Congressman Charles Melancon, communications co-chair for the Blue Dog Coalition. And Congressman, so interesting to have you on. We appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you for having us. It was good to be with you.